This is Joe's Corner 76. We will be discussing the human condition. In order to change it, we need to be involved. Are we killing our oceans softly? I have listened to so much about the release of carbon emissions, climate change caused by human activity, and all the things we need to do to alleviate it. There are a lot of different theories about this. There is enough evidence to indicate that there is some validity to a warming planet, and we need to see what we can be done about this. Among all of this controversy, I can't see the same level of concern about the effect of global warming and pollution on our oceans. With the indifference we seem to be paying to our oceans, I wonder, are we killing them softly? Oceans cover about 71% of the Earth's surface. This vast expanse of water plays a crucial role in regulating our climate, supporting marine life, and providing resources for humans. They are vital for the planet's health and well-being. What is happening to affect the health of the oceans? The oceans absorb about 27% of the carbon dioxide emissions produced by human activities. However, recent studies indicate that this rate has slightly decreased over the past decade due to factors like ocean warming and changes in ocean circulation. This reduction in absorption capacity means more CO2 stays in the atmosphere, contributing to further climate change. Climate change significantly affects ocean currents, which play a crucial role in regulating global climate by transporting heat around the planet. Here are some of the key effects. Warming ocean temperature. The oceans absorb about 90% of the excess heat global warming. This warming can alter the temperature gradients that drive ocean currents. Melting ice. The melting of Arctic sea ice and glaciers adds fresh water to the ocean, reducing salinity. Some ocean currents are driven by differences in temperature and salinity. This influx of fresh water can disrupt these currents. Slowing currents. Research indicates that the currents in the North Atlantic are slowing due to the added fresh water from melting ice. If these currents were to stop, it would lead to regional cooling in Western Europe and North America. Impact on marine life. Changes in ocean currents can affect nutrient distribution, impacting marine ecosystems and the distribution of marine species. Sea level rise. As oceans current change, they can contribute to rising sea levels, which can lead to coastal erosion and increased flooding. These changes highlight the interconnectedness of climate systems and the far-reaching impact of climate change on our ocean. There are dead zones in the ocean. What are they? Ocean dead zones, known as hypoxic zones, are in areas where the ocean oxygen levels are so low that most marine life cannot survive. What causes dead zones? Dead zones are probably caused by the process which occurs when excess nutrients, mainly nitrogen and phosphorus, from agricultural runoff, sewage, and industrial waste enter waterways. These nutrients stimulate the growth of algae, which eventually die and decompose, consuming oxygen in the process. Locations. Some of the largest dead zones are found in Gulf of Mexico, Baltic Sea, Gulf of Oman, Chesapeake Bay, East China Sea. Expansion. Dead zones are expanding due to climate change. Warm waters hold less oxygen, and changes in ocean circulation patterns exacerbate the problem. Studies indicate that nearly all dead zones are expected to grow by the end of the century. It's a serious issue that affects marine biodiversity and the livelihoods of people who depend on them. The perilous decline of our oceans. The Earth's oceans, vast and teeming with life, are facing unprecedented threats from human activities. These vital ecosystems, which cover over 70% of the planet's surface, are slowly being suffocated, poisoned, and stripped of their biodiversity. The cause of these declines are numerous, but they can broadly be categorized into pollution, overfishing, climate change, and habitat destruction. Pollution. One of the most visible and pervasive threats to the ocean is pollution. Each year, millions of tons of plastic waste end up in the ocean, creating floating islands of garbage and choking marine life. Microplastics, tiny particles that can result from the breakdown of larger plastic debris, have infiltrated the marine food web, affecting even the smallest organism. Additionally, chemical pollutions such as pesticides, heavy metals, and pharmaceuticals are entering the oceans through runoff from agriculture, industry, and urban areas. These chemicals can accumulate in the tissues of marine organisms, leading to toxic effects and disrupting ecosystems. Overfishing, the relentless pursuit of seafood, has led to the overexploitation of fish populations. Modern fishing techniques, such as bottom trawling and long lining, have depleted many fish stocks to the point of collapse. Species like the Atlantic cod and bluefin tuna are now critically endangered due to overfishing. This not only threatens the species themselves, but also disrupts the entire marine food web. The removal of key predator species can lead to imbalances, causing the proliferation of certain species and the decline of others, further destabilizing marine ecosystems. Climate change. Climate change is having a profound impact on the oceans. Rising global temperatures are causing ocean waters to warm, leading to the bleaching and death of coral reefs, which are among the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet. Warmer waters also contribute to the expansion of dead zones, area with low oxygen levels where marine life cannot survive. Additionally, the increased concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is causing ocean acidification, which weakens the shells and skeletons of marine organisms like mollusks and coral. These changes are not only devastating to marine life, but also threaten the livelihoods of millions of people who depend on the oceans for food and economic activity. Habitation or habitat destruction. Human activities are destroying critical marine habitats at an alarming rate. Coastal development, including the construction of cities, resorts, infrastructure, is encroaching on vital habitats such as mangroves, seagrasses, and estuaries. These areas serve as nurseries for many marine species and provide important ecosystem services such as carbon sequestration, coastal protection. The destruction of these habitats not only diminishes biodiversity, but also reduces the resilience of coastal communities to resist the impact of climate change. The decline of our oceans is a complex and multifaceted problem that requires urgent and coordinated action. Efforts to reduce pollution, implement sustainable fishing practices, mitigate climate change, and protect critical habitats are essential to preserving the health of the oceans. By addressing these challenges, we can ensure that future generations inherit a planet with vibrant and thriving marine ecosystems. We need to give the same urgency to the oceans as we do to climate change. The oceans are the future source of food, minerals, and perhaps medicines. If they aren't healthy, we won't be either. You can follow me on Facebook, X, and Instagram at Joe's Corner 76. You can hear me on Spotify and YouTube at Joe's Corner 76. If you enjoyed this podcast, tell your friends. Many more you can hear Spotify and YouTube at Joe's Corner 76.